So there's a really a team, but a primary psychologist out of Vanderbilt University, I'm sorry, out of Emory, who has come up with, it's called DYK, Do You Know? And it's a fabulous measure of ancestral knowledge, and it correlates with well-being. And
I
none
have
of
a
us
question.
would be surprised. The more you know about ancestors, the better off you are. So we've adapted it for do you know your enslaved ancestors? And same thing, the more you know, the better off you are. So we want people to know more in these newfangled ways. And yes, what's the question?
Joel
My,
had his hand up first, and then Brother Mickey. Go ahead, Brother Joel.
Okay, yeah, it don't matter. If you want to, he got a burning question you want to get it out, you can go for it. You want me to go?
Well, you had
go
your
ahead,
hand
brother.
up the
Go
longest.
ahead, brother.
Oh,
Go ahead,
gotcha.
brother Joe.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Hey, Queen, I'm sorry I wasn't here and I missed the presentation.
You
I do
missed
hear,
it.
yeah, because I just got on. Shoot. And I do hear you speaking about genealogy. And the question that I wanted to ask was, is this like what is the sources for the genealogy? Is this like in the South? Is it in the North? Is it across America?
So
What's
these are
what?
books published by families across America. One of the ways they'll be organized is by state. And again, this is celebrating America's 250th birthday. And therefore, we're starting with the first state to join the Union, which is Delaware. And people all across America write these books. We write about ancestors. Obviously, we are people who've moved. We write about people in different areas. So a book can be um, categorized as being based in one state if the writer is there or there's a significant portion of the family there, that sort of thing. So they span states, of course. But yeah, the stories are from everywhere. I mean, the books, the families who publish the books are from everywhere. But again, I just want to make sure we're very clear about the distinction between the published books, like this one, see Ozie's the Carmita Mayhall story, actual books. There's a difference between a book um and a set of papers in an archive. Or again, documents you would read in the Freedmen Bureau records or documents you would read elsewhere. So many people are gathering documents and putting together family stories in various ways. And when and if they get to the point of an actual published book, that is the thing that we are talking about at hbcuheritagehome.com. That's what we curate, we display, we celebrate, and do ongoing research on. Again, there's the number of questions that can be asked and answered about these books is
How do
endless.
I get my hands on it? Last question.
On December 9th, you take yourself to HBCU, you got that? HBCU heritagehome.com. And thereafter, and just play around in there, explore the books, explore the conversations, explore the related pieces of information related to the books. It opens with just a core content, and it just is there to be built out as you choose to engage with the books.
HBCU Heritage Home, correct?
Yeah.
.com,
And,
hbcuheritagehome.com.
and it's mailed to
HBCU
you.
because education is all through it. Heritage because it's very much church and our other cultural institutions, and home because it's about ancestral home as the destiny, because it's at that destiny that we reach the positive ancestral self-identity. And that's what we want for all of us. Yes, sir?
Okay. And the I was just saying that the website address has been sent out, and we'll send it out again so that everyone can make sure they have it. Brother Mickey, I think was next, and then Dr. Grimes had her hand up. Go ahead, Brother Mickey.
Yes, my question, Doc, involves you mentioned something that I'm very sincere about and digging into when you mentioned Freedmen's Bureau. How much in depth in the in what you're presenting to us do they dig into when it comes to the Freedmen's Bureau as far as involving the finances pertaining, for example, the beginning of it and the accumulation of the finances in that, and how those finances were lost.
So these books that I'm talking about do not analyze the Bureau at all. These books analyze families. These books are about individual Black families. These are Black family heritage books. There is a lot of research that analyzes the Freedmen's Bureau. I would recommend do scholar.google.com. Go to Google Scholar and just put it in. There are tons of articles on um, discrepancies, issues, difficulties people have, but it's a valuable resource. Many people go there and find lots of information about contracts that were negotiated. They find names of former owners and sometimes family members, one and the same. There's all kinds of information that can come from those records, including the separate thing, which was the Freedmen's Bank, in which many people lost money. Frederick Douglass, um, was accused of malfeasance. And so all of that research is out there. Just know that that relates to Dr. Hall's earlier question about how do these books interact with the broader scholarship in African America. And that broader scholarship deals with all of those issues. And many people delve specifically into the Freedmen Bureau issues. So I recommend looking at that scholarship, both the books and the scholarly articles. But know that that is not what people do in these books. Now, some people do. There are various degrees of dealing with, um, if you will, legal and political and social issues beyond the family. Um, and I just love that there is indeed that variety. Some of the books, as you can imagine, let's just use Roots again as an example. Obviously, that's a book that, does the whole America's horrible past thing in depth. Um, Some of the books do that, or again, just put their own family in context. We all have interactions with those things. Our people were fought in a war or they were in a flood. Again, if your person got lynched or your person owned a Black business, whatever, you're going to talk often in a broader sense about those individual things that were part of your families. So yes, is it Dr. Grimes now?
Yes, Dr. Grimes.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for your presentation. I am sorry to say that I kind of didn't get the entire thing, but I did read
That's
some of the stuff that Mr. Hall sent out. I kind of looked through that some.
okay.
I've kind of been doing. Well, let me ask you this question first. I kind of want to understand, and maybe you all have already talked about that, but if you'll indulge me,
Um,
um, your these books and what you're talking about is this individual families that have put together their histories and
yes.
it come together in one place.
Yes.
So
In a book, not one place. Again, it's a collection of papers, not a video. Not that there aren't videos associated with it, but if there's a book, then it's here. And then anything else that's associated with that book, be it videos, conversations, games, all of that stuff. Yes.
okay, so then I've done kind of some extensive searching for my own family as well. And I've kind of put some stuff together and honestly writing and continuing to find different things. A problem that I have found is when you get to a certain point, and they've called it the wall, where you hit the wall and being able to continue to go back in your heritage. I guess maybe it's when they came and black and white and all that kind of stuff. How do any of what you're saying speak to maybe how to get around that or how to break through
Absolutely.
that?
I would say two things. One is each of these books that talks about people beyond 1870, which is, I would really say most of them. I mean, some of them talk about ancestors from the 1400s, the 1600s. It used to be, again, Alex Haley was like, not really the first, but the first,
Right.
big deal. Oh, finding the person from Africa.
Yeah, the first person.
But that is not the goal. These books do everything. Again, some go back to somebody in the 1400s. But that's not the goal. It's like to get past it. It's like to tell your story, whatever you know, whatever you've got. These books are about passing on what you've got to pass on. And that doesn't mean some people don't do additional research, and if you find more, include it. But that also doesn't mean, oh, I don't have a story because I didn't know how to get past a particular date. And I will say, so that's the one thing. You will find that people get around that. First of all, it's not it's not a thing, and I'll get back to that. But if it were, or to the extent it is, people get around it by telling whatever story they have access to or they choose to tell. They don't say, oh, I can't tell it because I hit a roadblock over there, or, I don't know exactly what year Uncle so and so was born in, or I don't know, exactly this or the other, so I'm not going to tell it. So, yeah, nothing is a barrier when you choose to tell the heroism, the walks with God of your ancestors. Nobody lets lack of a detail stand in the way of conveying what these books convey. The other thing is, again, genealogy is booming, so all of the resources are there. All you have to do is go on Google, go on YouTube. There's 9 billion videos on, and they use just that phrase, that 1870 brick wall, and then they say the phrase is BS. There is no brick wall. All that means, as you
Mhm.
many know, that just means that that was the census year when many people were in that document. There were Black people
Sure.
in previous documents, and the census is one of hundreds of documents. And it turns out we are more documented than anybody else because we're arrested more, we're harassed more, whatever. So documentation of us is not the
Mhm.
story. And we are talked about. We are in everybody's diary, everybody's letter, whether we were writing the letter or not.
Mhm.
Owners were talking about us. So if that's what you're interested in, documentation, this whole 1870s wall stuff, yeah, it's BS.
What I and what I mean, just a little bit more in depth is trying to get past a certain time to know whether or not it's actually your ancestors or not. In other words, trying to
So, right. I
document.
will again just take my advice on this. Know that there are resources out there working daily to help people like you do this. We know that many people are doing it now, and the resources are there to take you from exactly where you are to where you want to go. So, me talking in general is not going to help you. But I will say, Google it, find the specific YouTube videos that speak to where you are. When you say get past, just know that that's vague. Like, what document are you looking for? Is there a particular person? There's somebody who can walk you through whatever your barrier is. And we could talk. I tend not to do that because there are so many people who do that. I don't even want to be in their way because they don't need me. Y'all don't need me for that. There's a ton of it. Um, but you do need me for these books. Nobody else is talking about these books like this. And I will do whatever I can to help you, encourage you to do a book by showing you how wonderful it is and the beauty, um, the purpose they serve for the families. But yeah, in terms of gathering the information that goes in your book, I will just say, don't presume you have too little right now. And if there is something in particular you're looking for that predates 1870, um, get that specific information you're looking for and get with someone who can help you in particular, and you'll get it. And you can call on me to do that. But yeah, it would have to be worked on individually, specifically. And again, it would serve you well to start with the attitude that it's available, not that there's some 1870 wall.